Hi guys, it's Al, the Spiritual Atheist, back again. Yesterday I had visited my neurosurgeon, and a date for the surgery is scheduled for November the 5th, barring complications after I get a recheck of my cancer situation. So anyway, I'm looking at November 5th there. It's going to go in and remove a bunch of bones from my neck, but somehow I'll still be able to hold my neck up. I'm not quite sure how this all works, but I'm assured that it does. And so that's what's coming up there. I was very excited this week by a story I found on Huffington Post that said that researchers have come to a conclusion that the cave paintings, or the majority of the cave paintings of prehistoric humans, were done by women, not men. And this is the reason they found this out is because of this, that the early painters would put their hands up against the wall and blow pigment over it, leaving their handprint behind. And as you can see, the index finger is slightly shorter than the ring finger. And that's indication, so they say, of a male. Whereas on females, the ring and index finger are pretty much equal. Excuse me. And based on that, and I did check with my wife, and her fingers are equal. Based on that, they come to the conclusion that the women were the artists. And that is really, really interesting. Oh, there's a kitty here. Those caves, people didn't live in them. They were just used for that one purpose of sort of a art gallery, or perhaps religious gathering of some kind, or what have you. The thought of the anthropologists is that this was sort of a magic that we've all seen or heard of, I assume. Stories of primitive people, when they first see cameras and they see their images, are outraged because they feel that the image captures their soul. And I believe that the theory is that our early ancestors had held this belief, and so as women drew the animals on the wall, they were capturing the spirit of the animal, and this is where they would be helping with the hunting and gathering. My own feeling is that is probably true, but also that women were the child caregivers, and I believe that these walls were also used to instruct. Hello. Uh, oh, you want to be a star, do you? Yeah. We're used to instruct youngsters on, this is this kind of animal and it behaves this way. This is this kind of animal, it behaves that way. It seems logical to me. In any case, I think this is very exciting because it does show probably a beginning of female priesthood, if you want, or the real involvement of women right from the very beginning into what we now know as art and civilization. I mean, it's a cornerstone. Also, after talking to a friend of mine and one of the viewers, I promised that my next video would deal with distraction. And humans are constantly looking for distraction. It seems to be part of our nature. In prison, one of the worst punishments is, of course, solitary confinement. That is, no distractions. You're just there with yourself. And when most of us find ourselves in that situation, rather than admit to giving up being distracted, we kind of create our own mental distraction in the form of daydreams, fantasies, what have you. And the question must come to mind, what is it that we're afraid of? Because there does seem to be a certain frantic quality to the need for distraction. And things are advertised to us that this is a better and better, this is a better distraction than what you have now. Buy this or whatever. You know, we're constantly being fed to that need. It seems to be very frantic and driven by fear. And it's the fear of really experiencing ourselves, of really being alone with ourselves. How much time does the average person spend alone with themselves? When's the last time you spent 24 hours all by yourself, or a week, you know, with no distractions? It's worth thinking about. It's if nothing else, if we find that there's nothing there to be afraid of, then we're not afraid. Regardless of what the conclusions are raised, that very lack of fear and lack of frantic, is franticism a word? No, it can't be. Anyway, it's this frantic seeking of distractions. When we lose the fear motivation of that, we begin to become perhaps more appreciators, more gourmet in our tastes. Many of us will, for instance, lose all taste for melodrama and poignancy. That little, the heart touches the strings, just so, you know, it's maudlin, I guess, you know. And a funny thing that kind of happens as we lose our taste for these things are the story of our lives also become less poignant and less melodramatic. Of course, we're creating our own story, and that's why I'm not talking about anything supernatural here. And our lives tend to move to a level where they're now full of tragedy and comedy. Welcome to old age, son. And that's, I think, what I'm going to leave you this time around. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with me. I do really kind of enjoy doing this. And I'll keep you informed as to how the surgery goes and all this sort of thing. Okay, guys, be kind to yourselves. Become your own best friends and keep on trucking.